I'll save you. You'll save me. You'll save me. We'll save everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Simon Cowell and welcome back to World of Dunkin' Donuts. This is Reecey, again, in his T54 Lightweight, and Reecey has his birthday today.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Also the same Reecey who was in QSFE and left QSFE on Tuesday to join Moses. So good luck in Moses, Reecey, you traitor. Anyway, he's playing the T54 Lightweight. Remember how Wargaming said they were going to nerf this tank? I think it was 2 patches ago, and then they suddenly didn't. I think they met a lot of resistance from the Russian community about this tank nerfing it, because, well, in this state, this tank is not necessarily overpowered, it's just really, really good. Of course, first of all, this is a Russian tank. You cannot suddenly nerf Russian tanks. Who do they think they are? An American company? I'm gonna start world wars with this. Anyway, they can't suddenly just nerf a Russian tank because the Russian community is the biggest community in World of Tanks. So if they nerf a Russian tank, oh man, that's gonna be an issue over there. Second of all, that would probably mean that the WZ-132 would overtake the T-54 Lightweight as most prominent Tier 8 Stronghold light tank. And having a Chinese tank that is better over a Russian tank, that doesn't really make sense. What the T-54 Lightweight has over the WZ-132 is it has more armor. Its rate of fire is basically the same, its alpha is basically the same, the gun handling is, I believe, basically the same. Don't quote me on that, I still have to get the WZ-132. But the WZ-132 has a better camo rating, so I believe that the WZ-132 is a better random light tank, and Lightweight is a better Stronghold light tank, just because it has more armor. Now this also depends on the driver of the tank. I would rather put Janirman in a WZ-132 and Cuddlespear in a T-54 Lightweight, because they have more experience in those tanks. And I still have to get the WZ-132. I am at the WZ-131, the Tier 7 version of the 132, or the Chinese light tanks. And my very first game in it was rather special. I bought a tank last weekend during the Chinese sale. And if you look at the WZ-131 stock, you have a really, really bad gun. You have an 85mm with 128 penetration, or the pop-pop gun from the 5916. And that's a really, really bad gun. So I don't have any free experience at the moment. I used it all on other modules for other tanks that are more important. So I went in with the 85mm with 128mm of penetration. Now that wasn't the issue. The main issue I had with that game was the fact that since patch 9.15.1, my game is rather unstable. I use Quickie Baby's XVM and his mod pack basically, and that isn't the problem. The problem is my game just suddenly crashes sometimes. It isn't XVM related, I even tried it without XVM, it just crashes. So loading up into that game, it was an ENS game. I was basically top tier. There were 2 other tier 8 tanks in that game. And since I'm a tier 7 light tank, I'm basically a tier 8 medium tank. So I thought this can be a really fun game. I load up to about 90% and my game crashes. So I think, slightly annoying. If I start it up again, maybe I can load back in for quite fast, because World of Tanks usually loads in some memory stuff in the background, so I should be able to load in rather fast again. Start up the game, log in past my login details, load up the map again. At about 90% it crashes again. Now I'm playing without XVM at this point, so it's not QB's mod pack that's making it crash. For the 3rd time I load up the game, go past the login details, I actually load in, but you know when you are loading in, you can see what tanks are already dead? Yeah, I am dead at that point already. It took me so long to finally load into the game. There were 2 tanks on each team left, and we eventually won. Now, the most impressive thing was that game is I still earned 3000 experience, because I was AFK in base, but it doesn't mean I'm useless. I still have a commander in a tank that's doing nothing. And I did 2k spotting, because tanks saw that I was, I guess, AFK and didn't shoot me, so I spotted them for my team who shot them. I was 4th on experience and I got 3k experience out of it in total. Because of that, I didn't get a warning that I didn't play the game. I was just, okay, whatever, World of Tanks, at it again. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Now this was during a 3 times weekend and I had a personal reserve on, so I had like 750 experience times 3 plus personal reserve. Yeah, best use of personal reserve ever though, I have to admit. Now the part I skipped in Reecey's gameplay was basically him driving back to his own base and then going into the middle. It was just a minute of him driving around and I found that rather boring. So instead, well, I skipped it. I cut it out and now we are in the enemy base. So, Reecey, have fun with everything that's there. But back to the story of the WZ-131. That's where the story ended, so let's start a new story. This week, or this month even, the top of the tree is the E50M. Now, I've been thinking of going up that tech tree for a very, very long time because the E50M intrigues me. I like ramming tanks, and the E50 and the E50M are, well, known for having a good ramming potential. And now it's top of the tree, so I finally started the VK3002M. I bought the tank and well, I have to admit, it's not even that bad of a tank. It just looks mediocre. It doesn't stand out. It doesn't have the best of armor. It doesn't have the best of gun. It doesn't have the best anything. It's just there. It's like, for example, in Pokemon, you have water, which is good against fire, and fire, which is good against grass, and grass, which is just there. And then you have normal Pokemon, which are not really good against anything, and they get slapped by everything. So, that's like the VK3002M. It's like a normal Pokemon in the world of Pokemon. And yet, it's not a bad tank. I played my very first few games in it, and it's not great. I still have to get used to it, but it's not bad. And it got me thinking, though, the very first games in the VK3002M. I went in blind. I didn't know anything about the tank. I just sort of looked at it and was like, yeah, that's a tier 6 medium, let's go! So I'm thinking of when I ever get a new tank, I live record the first 1 or 2 games in it and put that up as a video. Because the first impressions on a tank are always fun, you don't know what to expect, and then Artie slaps you around and you're like, well, this tank is pretty much bad. We'll see, maybe I'll do that. I don't get new tanks very often, so maybe. It's a thing that I'm thinking about. It's a very easy video to make. I just play the game, talk a bit, don't talk a lot because it's live. I'm really bad at live talking, but yeah, that's something. And while I was jibber-jabbering about myself, Reecey has had quite a good game on Lake Phil. And he just killed the artillery, and the artillery killed Danny. Derp get derped. And now he's just going after the Centurion 1 to get that last bit of damage in. Now I don't know if the post-battle results are in, because the replays website is down, so... meh.